Hi everyone, my name is Phil Hensman. I'm here to talk to you today about the PPF. One of the basic fundamentals that you need to get to know for economics at A level, but you might see it referred to as a number of different things. It could be a PPF, it could be a PPB, it could be a PPC. All you need to know is they're pretty much all the same thing. Production possibility frontier, production possibility boundary, or production possibility curve. And what they show is how much of two goods a firm or industry or country can produce using their facts of production and the trade-off that occurs when they change the production levels of one good. Facts of production are absolutely key here. Land, labour, capital and enterprise. Land being all natural resources, labour is all human effort, capital is man-made goods that are used to produce other goods and services, and finally we got enterprise. The entrepreneur is the person who organises the other facts of production and takes the risk by putting them together and forming a business. So this is what a PPF looks like. I've used a relatively simple one here where I've got 5 hours to spare in my day when I get home from college, and I can see here that I can either spend 5 hours playing FIFA or 5 hours studying economics or somewhere in between. The key point of the PPF is to show opportunity cost really. Opportunity cost being the benefits lost when the next best alternative is taken. Here, if we choose to spend 5 hours playing FIFA, it leaves us no time to study economics, and vice versa. So, by playing 5 hours of FIFA, we've effectively given up 5 hours of studying economics. And that's the opportunity cost, the benefits lost. We no longer have those benefits accrued from studying economics. One really important point here, the PPF doesn't show us in any way what is the best option. It doesn't know whether or not we've already spent 5 hours at college studying economics and whether or not we need to chill out. All it tells us is that these are the options available. So, to the same extent, if you see a PPF, it doesn't show you what's demanded by the economy, it doesn't tell you what the population wants, it just tells you what can be produced. So be aware of that. It doesn't give you the best option, it gives you all of the options. So here we show if we spend our 5 hours studying economics, we have no time left for playing FIFA. As a result, the opportunity cost of studying economics is less time to play FIFA. Now I've shown you the two extremes, but obviously a PPF can show all manner of alternatives. We could spend 3 hours playing FIFA. That's represented by the blue arrow. We've chosen to spend 3 hours playing FIFA. As a result, we have 2 hours left for studying economics. Therefore, the opportunity cost, the benefits lost from the next best alternative are 3 hours of studying economics. That's what we've lost as a result of spending 3 hours playing FIFA. You may see some diagrams that show the PPF as a curve. This is quite important, although being able to explain it is probably less important at AS than it is at A2. When we see a straight line PPF, it shows a constant trade-off. It doesn't matter how far you move along the line, the amount given up will be proportionally the same. Give up 4 computers, gain 4 cucumbers. Give up 3 cucumbers, gain 3 computers. A curve PPF shows that the trade-off is no longer constant. When we produce 4 cucumbers now, instead of giving up 4 computers that we did before, we are now only giving up 2 computers. The opportunity cost of cucumbers, what we've given up in terms of computers, has reduced. Instead of giving up 1 computer for every cucumber we produce, we now only give up half a computer per cucumber. The reason for this is that facts of production are not in real life as good at doing both things. If we own a factory, that will be capital, we'll probably use that for computers. If we used it for cucumbers, it wouldn't produce many as there wouldn't be enough sunlight to grow the cucumbers. So the opportunity cost is small, i.e. what we're giving up in terms of cucumbers would be small when we use it for computers. The last bit of land we would take from cucumber growing will be the best area for cucumber production, which wouldn't be much use for computers. So if we use this land for cucumbers, we lose very little in the way of computers. But if we use it for computers, we lose quite a lot of cucumbers. So basically, a curved line shows a differing opportunity cost, whereas a straight line shows a constant opportunity cost. There are a few other things that the PPF shows us that you need to be able to understand. Point A is any point inside the PPF. It could be absolutely anywhere inside that red line. At this particular one, it shows us that at point A we could produce one football and one chocolate. Now, theoretically, we could produce up to 5 footballs and up to 5 chocolates, and there's a constant trade-off, as we can see by the straight line PPF. If we did produce one football, we could produce anything up to 4 chocolates and still produce that football. So we could easily just produce that 1 and 1. If we did produce just one of each, we would actually be wasting resources. If you're producing anywhere inside the PPF, some of your resources are not being used properly. You can produce more goods without having to sacrifice anything else. For example, we could produce 4 more footballs without any loss in chocolate production. In Unit 2, we can use this to show unemployment. At point B, which can be anywhere along the PPF, we're using all our resources to their maximum ability, and no more could be produced without sacrificing some of the other product. As there are no wasted resources, and as much as being possible is being produced, anywhere on this line is known as being productively efficient. That brings us to point C. This point would need us to be able to produce 4 footballs and 4 chocolates at the same time. But currently, if we produce 4 chocolates, we can only produce 1 football. So point C is not a point we can reach at present. It is currently unobtainable. So could we ever get to point C? In order to understand how we might be able to do that, we must go back to knowing what a PPF shows. All the possible production that can be made using the current factors of production. The factors of production are key. If we have more of them, we can produce more. If we improve them, we can produce more. Take labour. If there is more immigration, we have more workers. Therefore, those workers can produce more products. An increase in the factors of production will cause the PPF to shift outwards. Also, if we train our workers and therefore improve them, we can make more products. If we give them machinery, capital, we can make more products. So it is possible to get to point C, but not at the moment. Something else has to change with the factors of production before we can get there. Likewise, it is possible that we may not always be able to produce at point B. The PPF may shift inwards if the factors of production or their ability decrease. If old machinery is not replaced, or if workers emigrate to different areas, this leaves less factors of production to make products. Therefore, less products can be produced and the PPF shifts inwards. So the short run versus the long run. As mentioned before, the PPF can be moved for an economy if more factors of production are available or if they are improved. Here we see a trade-off between capital goods, goods that are used to make other goods and services, which give little immediate satisfaction but are useful in the longer term, and consumer goods, goods that only have short-term benefits as they are being consumed but have no real long-term benefits. If you're running an economy, it's important to keep your population happy by letting them have nice products which give them instant satisfaction. That's a vote winner. But if you can sacrifice some of them and make more capital goods, in the long term, the workers will have more machinery, which means they can produce more, and capital goods are man-made goods that are used to produce other goods and services. They are a factor of production, and so by definition, more goods and services can be made. This, in the long term, means that PPF can shift from 5,000 of each good to say 7,000 of each. This was, however, only achievable because the consumer goods were given up in the short run. Finally, you might come across a PPF where only one of the axes appears to have changed. In this case, the number of possible economics books has gone up by 1 million, but there's been no change to the amount of cars that we can make. I will reiterate, the only thing that can shift a PPF is an improvement or an increase in the factor of production. Here we can see that whatever has happened has only had an effect on the book industry. It's had no effect on cars, so maybe a new paper mill has been built which decreases the time needed to make books, so more can be manufactured with the same amount of resources, but this has no effect on the amount of cars that can be produced. So that stays at 5 million. So let's have a quick review of what we've seen so far. Most important thing about PPFs. When you choose to produce, in this case, 5 million phones, you give up 1.3 million cups. That's the opportunity cost, the benefits lost as a result of making a decision. That's the key concept with PPFs. But also, we've seen that point A means that we're not using all of our resources fully. Point B means we are using all of our resources fully. And we can't actually achieve point C yet. That output level is too high for the current factors of production. If we have a reduction in the amount or the ability of the factors of production, the PPF can shift inwards. Likewise, if we have an increase in the number of factors of production or their ability, the PPF can shift outwards, meaning we can produce more goods. That's the PPF. I hope that helps to explain some of it. Thanks for listening. Bye.